Welcome to another video. Today we're doing a Pixar movie tier list. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Pixar. So we've got all the films up to Lightyear, which is the recent one I was recording this video. Elemental's coming out later on this year, except for that. Yeah, and we're going to rank them. And I just want to say now these are my opinions. And usually when someone says this means I'm definitely going to murder over some of these opinions. Definitely one film which it's going to get me killed. Anyway, so we got D tier, which stands for trash. C tier, which is going to be bad. B tier, which is going to be meh. A tier is going to be good. And S tier, which is going to be amazing. Alright, so we're going to start off up. Yep. It's not going to get up. It's not going to, go up from here. Jokes. Comedy. Yeah, let me make some more tiers first. Alright. So, I've now made the tier lists. We've got unwatchable, trash, bad, I don't know, meh, okay, good, great. I've spelt many of these wrong. Wait. What if I... Oh yeah, I forgot the other A. Yeah, okay. This is going to go in I don't know. It's not bad. It's not... Yeah, it's if you say, let's watch Up, I'll go, fine. You know, why can't we watch Toy Story? You know what I mean? Watching Up. Up is not good. It's not bad per se. I think the concept is what really gives it its life. But, like, seriously, come on. You get a bit of his and Ellie's relationship. Then they have a little montage, which, how do you know they have a good relationship? What, a few scenes? You don't know if he's abusive. You don't know if she's abusive. You don't know how their life was like. And then she dies and you're meant to go, oh, yeah. Like, okay, I do think it works in some points. If it was like a big backstory or something, it's like short, it's like, oh, look at this, having fun, and everything goes depressing. So that's why I give it a merit. But still, I don't know. I feel like they needed a bit more of their relationship, but just kind of drive the story. But apart from that, I don't like Russell. He's just really annoying. Kevin is just okay. Doug is alright. I think Cole's kind of cool, but I don't know. Paradise Falls just looks so bland. It's just like grey and stuff, and the dogs weren't funny. Charles Muntz, I like his origin. I like him being the villain. I think Charles Muntz has done well, but apart from that, yeah, it's I don't know. Toy Story. Oh mate, how can you not love Toy Story? Like Toy Story 5 got like announced or something, like they announced they're doing Toy Story 5. And I'm so excited. It's very unnecessary. Like I was actually a massive well, I remember a few of my friends are basically saying that Toy Story 4 was unnecessary. And I had to go on a whole rant on him. But I don't know. I know the whole story was about Woody, not Andy. But Woody's story's done. The side characters are done. I don't know. I think that was the perfect ending. Toy Story 3 is best ending to like him and Andy. But then like I don't know, because they're not going to make Woody and Buzz reunite. So if it's a story about Buzz and the gang, then that's alright. But it's because it is still Toy Story. It's not Woody's story. It's like all of them, and they get really sidetracked in some of the other films. So I don't know. I think it's like unnecessary, but I'm really hoping to be proven wrong. Toy Story, great. It's not amazing. Yes, a lot of the animation is very outdated. It looks super creepy in some moments. But Woody is so likable and unlikable at the same time. You want him to succeed, but you also want him to learn, and he does. Throughout the entire series, Woody learns what's about living. He learns in Toy Story 1 that it isn't about being the favourite, it's about being there for the kid. Toy Story 2, he learns that toys don't last forever. They'll be forgotten about. Toy Story 3, he learns that every kid's gonna need a toy. And in Toy Story 4, I'm guessing he learns that he's clearly not needed anymore. So he wants to go and help other people, other toys, have that life that he had. It's amazing. It's a great quadrilogy, I think it's called. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I can't wait for Toy Story 5. Toy Story 1 gets an amazing, great, because, yeah, it's a bit outdated. But, I personally think it's the weakest of the Toy Story films. And this got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Out of all 4 Toy Story films, Toy Story 4 with 97%, I think it is the worst Rotten Tomatoes score. What? Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2 both having 100%. But, like, this franchise, it's so good. Yeah. That's around Toy Story 1. It's amazing. It's not even a rant, because it's a good one. It's a good rant. But yeah. Monsters University, I think it's good. Yeah, there's a bit continuity error in the film with saying, because in Monsters Inc. they say that Mike and Sully have known each other since at least the 2nd grade, which I'm guessing is like what, year 2 in America? We have years here and they have grades, but I think it's like above, so maybe grade 2 is like year 3, or I don't know. Well, I guess year 1 because it makes sense saying that in the first year. I don't know. The Monsters U, it's a good story show, and it's very, I know, it's a very good message as well, because basically not being scary in a monster is kind of like a disability for them. As Dean Hartscroll richly says in Monsters University, scariness is the true measure of a monster. If you're not scary, what kind of a monster are you? And Mike isn't scary, but he is very good at supporting Sully, and then he gets his chance when they start doing laughter instead of screams. I don't know, it's a nice origin story. The scene near the lake is really well done. Randall is honestly an amazing character in this. I really like his origin story of how he used to be really nice, but then when he finally gets friends and he loses, you know, he has the motivation then. I don't know, it's so good. Of course, the whole scene them in the mailroom and then the whole abominable snowman thing is not. It's also creates kind of continuity error, which they kind of explain in Monsters at Work, which is an amazing show. Go check it out if you have Disney Plus. But I don't know. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it. Finding Dory. I've never been a massive fan of the Finding films. Because I don't know, I feel like there's so much you can do with okay. Now let's keep in mind. There's so much you could do with underwater, but Finding Dory is a sequel to Finding Nemo, which I think a lot of people agree that it didn't need it didn't need a sequel. And making a sequel around a comic relief character is never a good idea. I'm looking at you, Cars 2. And Dory's, and I get it's going more into her past. I'm gonna say it. I prefer Finding Dory to Finding Nemo. I don't know. I really like Hank as a character, and I really like the Marine Life Institute and the whole plot. Yes, Finding Nemo is really nice, but I don't know. which takes us on to Finding Nemo. It ain't bad. Like, I'm still gonna put it in meh, but just a lesser meh. I personally don't get why the poster has Bruce on it, since he's only in it for a bit of a scene. I thought he would have played more of a bad guy role. And there's not really a bad guy except for a misunderstood child who's just not really good at taking care of pets, and then the dentist. Yeah. I'm also not a big fan of the side characters in this film. I don't know, like the ones in the dentist office, they just, I'm not a big fan of them. I want to watch Finding Nemo again. Because I really think I could grow to love it more if I just watch it a bit more. But yeah. Alright, let's move on. Cars 2. Can I just say, if you get rid of everything, like the mate a bit and all that, and you made it Lightning McQueen in the World Grand Prix, this would have been a great movie. Because the idea of them going to different worlds, like different places in the world and racing is such a good concept, man. But they decided that they'd rather make an action film to sell more merchandise. This is the reason why it's the only Pixar film in 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's awful. Meat is a side character, and he's pretty funny in the first film. You know, he's good. You get some good laughs out of him. But in this, you just want to shut up half the time. Like, it's a spy thing about clock towers and London shooting cars and stuff. Like, I'll admit there are some cool looking scenes in this film, but then you also gotta remember, oh wait, no, it's cars. They race. That's the whole point. In the first film, if it was about spies, then yeah, it made more sense. But it's not. And then the spy thing's never brought up again, even in Cars 3, because Cars 3 wants you to remember that this doesn't exist. So yeah, Cars 2 is awful. Oh, looks like it's time for The Incredibles. And it's the first amazing film on this list. I love The Incredibles. It's a family of superheroes who gotta take on this other guy who's not a superhero, but he wants to kill the superheroes, so then he could be the only superhero because he was... I can't find the word. Because he was robbed of his dream to being a superhero because his idol told him he wasn't allowed to be a superhero, so then he disowned his idol, and then he went on to do genocide terrorism and kidnap children. Because that's how you write a family film. This film is so good. Everything from the cast, like, just the entire family is amazing. We all get... I think Dash is very... I think the film is more on Miss Incredible, Elastigirl, and Violet, and Dash is mainly there. I would also like to say he's there for comic relief, because I personally find Dash very funny in these two films. And I kind of feel like that's what he is. He's just there. Dash never really gets a storyline. All the storylines on it for the children are really Jack, and Violet. Well, because he's really funny, I don't think that really matters. And I hope they never really do give him a proper storyline. Frozone is great. I want to go back to Syndrome. Syndrome is the greatest villain. Like, seriously, because he never got to be a superhero, and he thinks that basically supers don't think anyone could be a hero unless they have superpowers. He wants to kill the superheroes and then create an ultimate machine that no superhero could beat. And by a click of a button, he can destroy it and then become a superhero. Like, it's an amazing plot. And it even got a Lego game based off it. Well, the first and the second film, which is widely known as one of the worst Lego games. I love it, but that's just me being Pixar, a massive Pixar fan. I want to make a whole film on some. I want to make a whole video on some of these because the series is getting way too long. We have the Good Dinosaur. They get high in this film. Yeah. Or they get drunk. Look, this film has some of the best animation of all Pixar, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason it was made. It was to be like, hey guys, look at this cool animation we could do. Yeah. This film could have been so good, but like, dinosaur stories, you can't do much because they're dinosaurs. They don't do much. So, I don't know. Saying the fact it was Good Dinosaur, it has a very weird name. This is a trash movie. Cars 1. I don't know. I think it's a decent film. I don't know though. That's the whole reason it's I don't know. Because cars is such a weird concept. It's cars just racing, yeah, but it's like, how does the world work? How are they built? How do they make other cars? How does this work? But Lightning McQueen is a good protagonist. He's very rootable and he grows during these films. And I really like the supporting cast. Doc Hudson is really good as a mentor, and trying to help Lightning is really good. And Lightning McQueen has one of the best character arcs in the whole film. All he cares about is the Piston Cup, and then finally, when he's about to win it, at the literal end of the race, he turns around so he can get, because Chick Hicks, like, I think cheats or something, I can't remember, cheats and like knocks a racer off the track, and he goes and rescues that racer so they can go across the line together. And he loses the Piston Cup, but then of course Chick Hicks sets his comeuppance as people throw things at him with their tires. How do they throw things? And I think it's honestly one of the best ever ending to a Pixar film. Even though you could have just took the 2 seconds to go across the line and then go back afterwards. I don't know. Cars 3. Unpopular opinion time. Cars 3 is good. Electric cars are taking over. Lightning McQueen can't keep up. He goes and trains with Cruz Ramirez, realizes in the end that he can't win no matter what he does, and decides to just like his mentor, he's going to mentor Cruz Ramirez, and she wins. It's amazing. And the final race is amazing, where Cruz flips over Jackson Storm and then wins. It's honestly amazing. Like, it's just so good. I even meeting up with Doc's old friends, doing the whole thing with the bus and all. It's just, and the whole scene where they're watching the race and the cheer. I don't get why this film is like, I get it, but this film is good. I don't know why I enjoy Cars 3 so much. Like, Cars 2 is awful. It's the worst Pixar film. Cars 1 is okay. It's there. But Cars 3 is amazing. Anyway, next up, A Bug's Life. I remember enjoying this one. It's up on there. It's Pixar's second ever release. About the life of a Bugs. I just realized we had Toy Story and Bug's Life. That's kind of funny. Bug's Life is about Flick. He's an inventor, but he ends up destroying the food supply that they were meant to give to the grasshoppers, and now they have to get it all back before the grasshoppers attack. And then he goes and basically gets these legendary heroes, the 3 grasshoppers, but they're actually just circus performers. But in the end, all teaming up to take on the bigger guys, and it's amazing. And Hopper is honestly a really good villain because, like, it's Bugs. You know, I don't know. I really like it. Yes, some of the characters are a bit unlikable at times, but you can root for Flick. You feel bad for him. He has good ideas, but he's just not treated seriously because of a few little mistakes. But then when people realize how good his inventions can do, they it's just it's just it's such a, it's good on that end, but then it's bad because some of the characters are really unlikable, and then some of them are forgettable, and the whole circus thing is kind of dumb. So I don't know. Incredibles 2, not as good as Incredibles 1, but it's still incredible. This film is incredible. I'm going to keep saying incredible over and over again. Yes, the villain's plan isn't as good because if there's no supers, then Han's supervillains just take over and destroy everything. Like, when the Underminer comes back, who the hell's going to stop him? But I guess it makes sense because if the supers weren't around, then basically that's why Evelyn is evil, because her dad died because he didn't go to the safe room when they got broken into. He called heroes and they shot him. But, like, I don't know. She doesn't have that emotional connection to Elastigirl, but which, like, Syndrome did have to Mr. Incredible, which is why it's such a good reveal. And I feel like some of these scenes aren't very good. I think a lot of the other supers get really, like, sidelined or something. They could have, like, a really cool team-up fight at the end. Like, all of them. But then Evan's kind of easily defeated. I don't know. And I feel like I don't. It's so weird because I like the film, but they make so many weird things happen that you're like, huh? Why did they do that? But it still works, of course. Wally. I don't know. Like, I think it's cool. It's a good story. You know, but I've never really been a fan of films where the main protagonist doesn't really talk. Which is, you know, and I feel like the action bit isn't the best. Like, I think all the best parts is the beginning of the movie. I think that's what carries. So, that's why it's there. Not really much to say about it. Monsters, Inc. This one's amazing. A story about Sully and Mike. These two go out to basically... It's such a simple story. The idea of why do people think that monsters come out of their closet? Because they do. To scare you so they can power their future. It's perfect. Sully and Mike are likable characters, and of course they end up getting with Boo, and then, you know, Boo's like technically, well, she'd be seen as evil by the monster world, so they have to keep her undercover. But the bad guys realise that if they have a child on them at all times, they could get so much scare out of her. Because that was the whole point, because that's the whole scream extractor. They trap her to a chair and basically extract all the screams out of her so she can no longer be scared. Because that'll be a lot really powerful. And then they defeated the War News. And Randall gets beaten to death. So I really like Randall in this film. I feel like I'm glad he wasn't the main villain, because I don't think he ever would have been, because War News is like the main villain. But yeah, Monster Inc.'s just perfect. The world is amazing. The monster designs are great. And yeah. Inside Out It's my favourite Pixar film. I love the characters. I just love the plot. Like, Joy is a protagonist you can root for, but then you also don't want to root for her because she's you could tell that she really doesn't trust anyone else. Because in her opinion, everyone should just be happy, and she wants Riley to be happy. But then she realizes that a human being can't just be happy. They need to be sad. They need to be angry. They need to have fear, and they need to be disgust. And honestly, if I had a main emotion in my head, it would be fear. I've got really bad anxiety, so we'll stand this. Also, I'm telling you now, there is going to be an emotion called depression in Inside Out 2, and sadness is going to be with them, like romantically. Is that weird? Can emotions date? Can emotions breed? No. Oh god. That's just very mind. That's gonna be haunting my mind for the next 5 seconds until I completely forget about it. Anyway, Inside Out was just so good. I love Bing Bong and his sacrifice is amazing, and they was totally there just to make me cry. And I feel like fear and disgust are sidelined as well, because anger is like he takes control really when the other two are out, and ends up getting really angry and basically destroying everyone, and basically ruins Riley's life. And then has the audacity to say, we can't make... basically... I think it was Fair or Disgust, can't remember who said we can't make Riley feel anything. And he went, guys, what have we done? That was your fault, Anger. That was nothing to do with Disgust and Fear, and I'm still mad. Yeah, Inside Out was amazing. It's great. It's like this. The Islands of Personality is so good looking and all that. But anyway, let's go. Ratatouille came out the year I was born, and it's okay. Yeah, it's a fun story about a rat that can cook. It's okay. Yeah, I like the characters. I like Remy as a protagonist. You know, Remy's dad is a very good not protagonist. He's more of an antagonist. So he's not like a villain, but he's like an annoyance to him, really. Telling him that, rats steal. We can't cook. And of course, Remy ends up cooking. And, yeah. I don't know, this film's okay. There's not much to say about it, really. I'm also just trying to rush this video. Coco is my second favourite Pixar film. It's just such a good story. It's based off the Mexican holiday Day of the Dead, or Muertos. No. I always forget the name. The Meo Muertos? I don't know. Day of the Dead, anyway. Basically, it's like you put up altars of your loved ones, and you can their spirits. So it's like just get their spirits to come over from the land of the dead to come to the lands of the living, and I think it's quite neat. It looks kind of cool by what the pictures I've seen, and or should I say, the Book of Life? Am I right? Yeah. Hashtag Book of Life ripoff. Just kidding. Coco is a lot better, and you can have more than one film about a holiday. So, Coco is great. It's amazing. It made me cry. But it's a Pixar. If a Pixar film doesn't make you cry, it's not a Pixar film. So, when Cars 4 comes out and Lightning McQueen dies, and when Toy Story 5 comes out, yeah, is that gonna be a death in that? I don't know, probably not. Toy Story 2, haha. Woody is doing the bunny ears above Buzz, epic memes. I'm gonna say it's amazing. It's Toy Story 2. My second favourite Toy Story film. Funny enough, Toy Story 2. I love it. I think it's iconic. There's a lot of good scenes. I don't know. I think the Owl's Toy Barn section carries it. It's so good. And the whole Woody, Jesse, and Bullseye thing is really good. And the Prospector being, Sticky Pete, aka the Prospector, is a really good bad guy. Like, he's not like completely evil. He just doesn't want to be forgotten. He wants to be in the museum. And of course, he can't go to the museum if the part is missing. Imagine going to a, I don't know, some sort of museum, and then there's just like half the exhibit's gone. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't work very well, would it? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, I personally think this film is amazing. It's really good, got a lot of iconic scenes, and Toy Story 3 is even better, and it's my third favourite Pixar film. Wow. Yeah, Toy Story 3 is my third favourite Pixar film. And it's my first favourite Toy Story film. This film's amazing. Honestly, I know the animation's definitely gotten better from then, but this is my favourite looking Pixar film. Like, I don't know, anytime I looking at what the scene where Andy's on his like computer and his mom like walks in, it just looks so good. The toys are really likable in this, and honestly, the end bit made me cry. Basically, every film here has made me cry, except for Incredibles and Incredibles 2. They don't really have any sad scenes. Toy Story 3 is great. And Toy Story 3 has a good villain. It's got good animation, like I've said before. And they're Brave. Brave is awful. Considering it takes place in Scottish, and I am Scottish. A bit of Scottish. My granddad's Scottish. It's passed down. Yay. This is awful. This is literally bad. Like, it's not unwatchable because it's got a decent score. And I like archery. That's it. Yeah, I don't really like it. It's not good. I don't care about the story. I don't care that my mom turns into a bear. You know? And I think this is why they decided to never make a Disney princess film again. And to leave that to Disney. Anyway, onward. I should have said that. That would be much more funnier. Not really. Onward is okay. It stars with Spider-Man and Star-Lord because Marvel hype, am I right, guys? And I don't know, I know a lot of people criticize Chris Pratt. But guys, it's I don't know, I think it's nice because Chris Pratt is definitely a lot older than Tom Holland. Not definitely, but like, oh, they should have got Robert Downey Jr. because the whole Iron Man, I don't know better. But I don't know, I feel like it just really works for some reason, and the ending makes me cry. Like, this is based as a producer of the film, which I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I don't want to offend him. He never met his dad, and he's once heard a voice recording of his dad, and that was the first time he's ever heard what his dad sounded like. And that's what the blueprint of this film was. Like, that is really sad. And to make that into this film, of course, Ian never met his dad. Barley had a massive argument with his dad. I never went to, like, no, I forget, and, you know, oh, was it an argument? I can't remember. But he never got to see his dad. And basically, the big dragon at the end, which is the main bad guy, he's in it for like 5 minutes, and that was like the fight. It wasn't 5 minutes, it was longer than that, but like, it was a good fight. It's just, I don't get the villain. But yeah, it was very, very weird. Yeah, but Barley again sees his dad and Ian doesn't because Ian would rather never see his dad. But let Barley say goodbye to him. It's really nice. Ian's honestly one of the best protagonists in the whole series. Toy Story 4. Not as good as Toy Story 2 and 3 in my opinion. It's very different, which I do like. Really like it. But, I don't know. I really like the side characters in this one. Because, like, the new side characters are kind of left. As, like our old cast, like Ham, Rex, Miss Potato Head, and Slinky Dog, they're all kind of set aside for Duke and Boom, Ducky and Bunny. All them. And I really think the backstories have started to go a bit downhill. Because, like, I don't know, Duke and Boom is kind of made out as a joke, where the rest of the other backstories are kind of made to be really serious. But yeah, and also the film made me cry at the end. I think this is a very common running theme. What's 1, 2, 3, 4? Because Toy Story 2 also made me cry with the song, When She Loved Me. Toy Story can make you cry too, if you're me. Toy Story 4, Monsters University, somehow. Onward. Finding Dory. Up. Okay, I did lie. I did actually cry watching Up, even though I personally don't think I should have. Cars 2 when he was over, because it was the worst thing I've ever watched. So, Soul. I'm gonna put Soul as okay. I think I find Soul a bit boring at times, but I really like the relationship between 22 and oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. I want to say Matt, but it's not Matt. Joe. I really like Joe as a character. I think he shows the message is basically never give up, because the whole point of 22 is that the people give up trying to make her, accept going to Earth. But he doesn't, just like he does give up his music dream, and that's why I personally think the Jerrys chose him. Luca. Maybe Soul's good. Luca is, I don't know, it's really weird, Luca. I don't think many people would say it's good, but I think it's good. I really like the animation. I really like the characters. I think they work really well together. It has a really good, it has like a really good message about accepting and stuff and having fun, you know what I mean? Oh, I completely don't forget the fact that now Roberto works for the girl, I forgot the girl's name. Roberto works for the girl's dad's shop, which kills fish. Okay, does a sea monster count? So, are you murdering basically your own family there? I don't know. And also the bad guy, which I still forgot the name of. How? I was literally going to write a script, but I was like, I'll take too long. He's the best bad guy in all of Pixar. I don't care. He's amazing. He's also really fun, and I really like his sidekicks, so yeah. I don't know, I think just like a simple concept like that, and then a bike race is like the finale. Like, it's a bike race. How have they made that so exciting? Anyway, these 2 films now, Turning Red. I don't... The animation's good. I don't really like the plot. I feel like a lot of animation films and animation does this now, that they kind of... I don't know. Like Baymax, where they kind of... Well, because these films are definitely aimed towards girls, which isn't a bad thing. But then they end up talking about girl problems, and then for boys watching the film, we can get kind of grossed out by that. It's like, you're not going to have a film talk about things that boys go through, because girls won't like that. And I don't know, I personally think they should try and yes, aim it towards girls, but then also remember that there'll be other people watching this. But I don't know, I also think the final fight's kind of underwhelming, and I'm not really rooting for May. I don't know, I just don't really find it over the top. The song's cool though. And Lightyear, the movie, which I'm actually thinking about making a video about why I think that this wasn't actually the film that Andy watched, and how this is like maybe a remake of the film, based on the fact that it was made in 1995, and there's some things that probably wouldn't be around in 1995, especially in movies. I'm thinking though, the main concept is basically back in 1995, stores didn't order enough Buzz Lightyears to meet demand. So, it was not really accepted of people liking the same gender. Now, nowadays it is more accepted, which is definitely a good thing. Finding Dory was the first time a lesbian couple was ever shown in a Disney film. Not even just Pixar, Disney, which, in the fact, well, Disney did start in like 1930 something. So, you know. But I just personally feel like back then, because this film would have been made in 1995, so the fact that's where the first Toy Story did take place, that it wouldn't have been in that film. I don't know. So, I feel like this is more of a remake. You know, trying to target towards the newer era. And then the film, but I also, that's not even the main reason, that's just one of the factors. Also the fact that his suit is kind of off sometimes, and you think he would have come with like a socks figure or something. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of other factors that kind of contribute, and also like Emperor Zurg doesn't have a robe, but he does in the Toy Story film. So why does he have a robe? It's called Evil Emperor Zurg, when in the movie he doesn't have any of that. But of course, we all know the Star Command film was 100% the one that he watched, because literally it opens with Toy Story cast putting the film on. So anyway, that's my thing, and also technically a mini theory about Buzz Lightyear and stuff. But anyway, that'll be the end of this video. It's gone on for 43 minutes. I'll see you